Good evening, my friends, and welcome back once again to your Monday night. Yes, my friends, it is that time once again because Avenger Pretenders is here. I am JT the Redneck. I brought Sully the Geek along with me because otherwise I wouldn't know what the hell to talk about. So, we're going to review Agatha All Along. Got it right that time. Episode 3. So do me a favor, grab your favorite adult beverage or whatever it is that you would like to drink. Something to snack on. Sit back in that beanbag chair and enjoy the ride because it's going to be a fun one. Sully, it's all yours.
Oh, I thank you, sir. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Avenger Pretenders. Yes, I am Sully. I do apologize for having some tech issues. We had some tech issues. For some reason, the stream wasn't working the way it's supposed to. But hello, everybody. For those that are joining us for the first time, spoiler alert. If you haven't watched the episode, shame on you. It's been how many days now? Thursday?
Well, see, it comes out on Wednesday, so Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 5 days.
5 days. 5 days,
5 days.
people.
5 days.
5 days.
Did I count that right? Yeah, okay.
I believe you did, yes. 5 days. So, tackling episode 3 today, and episode 3 just so happens to be titled a very cool title. Yes, cool indeed. As a matter of
He's
fact,
trying to look it up right now.
What?
Nothing, go ahead.
Oh. It's Through Many Miles of Tricks and Trials. Yes.
I have to say this. The episode names are very, very interesting.
They are a little interesting, aren't they?
Interesting and poetic.
It works.
It does. It does. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it's some of the most unique titles we have ever had.
Yes. And when it comes to this particular series, obviously there are a lot of people like me, little half and half when it comes down to it. But
right,
in the long run, I'm actually quite enjoying this. Even Christy, who's hard to get on board with some shows these days, says it's more interesting than the last couple of shows that we've watched.
Right.
And I went, all right. You know, Secret Invasion, that was interesting. Different.
Yeah.
Some things were announced, spoiled, so to speak. But still decent. Not the greatest, but still decent. Ms. Marvel, I'm pretty sure you and I both agree Ms. Marvel was on the low end of the totem pole when it came to the shows.
Yes.
We were very honest about that.
It was a good show, but it wasn't that exciting.
Yeah, it really wasn't.
You know, they had the one exciting episode where, you know, they were right in the middle of town and she did the ice thingy to stop them and all that good crap. That was the best episode of the whole show.
Yeah, that's called the last episode.
Well, then that's why it was the best episode.
Yeah. Well, I'm enjoying this because clearly we are now starting the entire episode off on the Witch's Road. Oh, yes. Oop, I hit the wrong button. On the Witch's Road. Now, the good thing is each episode leads into each other. And I've seen some people state that the first 2 episodes were a mess, that it doesn't really have meaning. And I'm like,
oh, no.
I don't know what they're watching.
I'm a dumbass redneck, and I got all kinds of meaning in the first 2 episodes.
Yeah. And when it comes to this, there's a lot of lore, I guess you could say, on the Marvel side of things. Because this particular episode name drops Mephisto
Mm-hmm.
again, which we saw in WandaVision. They, we saw that.
Yes.
But Lady Death, the first one for about 10 minutes was a bit rough to start, but that was it. Well, but again, she was trapped in a curse. The curse of living out a TV show, which is what Wanda was doing.
I would say the worst part of the first episode was when she was breaking out of the curse.
Yes.
And went through all of the characters that she had been during the time that she was in this curse.
Yeah.
And everything. So that, to me, that was the weirdest part of the first two episodes. But again, like with any, I don't care if it's Marvel, I don't care if it's Star Wars, I don't care if it's DC, I don't care if it's NCIS or Big Bang Theory. You have to set the scene.
Yes.
You have to cover some background to pull those who maybe didn't watch WandaVision and that kind of, or forgot all about WandaVision, like I did most of. You've got to bring them up to speed to where we're at.
Yeah.
That whole background thing. You got to get them up to speed before you can get them on the road.
Yeah. And when it comes down to it, this particular one, obviously, we're seeing the coven now. Whether they like it or not, they're a coven.
Mm-hmm.
Now have to figure out the trials and tribulations of the road and what could possibly happen. And we start off, obviously they're bickering because why not? They don't know where to go. But we see Mrs. Hart kind of walk away.
Yeah, run.
Yeah, even she kind of walks away a little bit, but also walks off the road, and the road is where you want to be, because if you walk off the road, apparently it turns into a tar-like substance and tries to pull you under. And the only reason that happened was because she put her purse down and tried to get it back.
What was it? This is from Talbot's. You can't have it.
Yeah, can't have it. It's all yours.
I was like, really? Talbot's? Come on.
Like, come on, you can do this.
I mean, it's Talbot's, man. Let it go.
You can do this. You know it's there. Just make it work.
Set, man.
Just make it work. And in this case, they did not make it work. They really didn't. They didn't make it work at all. But they did pull her out. Now, of course, for me watching this scene, I was saying to myself, it's the never-ending story all over again. Poor Artax. The swamp of sadness.
Right.
Sad face. Womp,
womp. And it's the Witch's Road version of the La Brea tar pit.
There you go. That works.
But here's my thing. You're on a road. You're on a path. You need to be able to sit down and rest.
And don't go off
and
the path.
You can't even do that because in order to rest, you would have to be off the path.
Yeah.
And, it's all kind of messed up.
Yeah. So when it comes down to things, they don't know exactly what's ahead of them, but that they do know is from the song that Witch's Road is going to test you. And this just so happened to be their first test. They had to stay together, and they all had to participate in some type of test that will bring out the best of them, so to speak.
Right.
Okay. In this case, all of a sudden a house shows up. And they go, where'd that come from?
First reaction, instantaneously when I saw it, was like, don't go near that place.
Something's not going to be right about that, for sure.
Giant house in the middle of a deserted plain. Never a good thing.
On a supernatural road.
Yes,
On a
you add that in
supernatural
there.
road. That is a part of the multiverse.
It's going to be Jason freaking Voorhees behind the front door, okay?
Run. Just run.
Yeah, just run. Just go.
Now, Sharon Davies, or Mrs. Hart,
Yeah, run.
covered in this oil / tar / whatever. Very hesitant to go in the door. And most of them are pretty hesitant to go in the door as well. So she knocks and rings the bell and is like, "Oh, nobody's home. Time to leave." And Agatha just walks right in.
Well, it was funny because she's like, well, we don't want, or Sharon
Yes, Sharon.
was like, well, we don't want to surprise anybody. So she goes over and rings the bell. And Agatha goes,
"Yeah, we do."
or do we?
Or do we? Come on, it'll be fun.
So you've got, the rabbit in a china shop, and then you have the bull in a china shop.
Yes. Which clearly we know which one Agatha is.
Yes.
Maybe just a little bit. And that's okay. Because you want that when it comes to a main character, especially for someone like Agatha. Okay? Once they go in, they are completely transformed into a new type of wardrobe.
That was wild.
One of a modern type society. No witch clothing. They looked very... What's the word?
60-ish, 70-ish?
No.
60s, 70s, maybe early 80s?
Maybe 70s. And if that's the case, then it was... If you think about it, the episode itself ties very close to the 70s TV episode of WandaVision then. But the house wasn't the house itself wasn't old. That looked new.
The house was more modern. Yeah, the decor in the house was definitely more modernish.
Yeah.
But that, how do I want to put this? It fed into the storyline. As we will find out when they start looking for things. I'll put it that way.
Yes.
Don't want to ruin it.
Yes. Well, from here, they go in and they're looking around. Obviously, they kind of split apart, but then they see a dining area.
Mm-hmm.
Very well furnished, by the way.
Yes.
Very well furnished. But we see... What was it? It was a note on the mantle at the end of the dining room.
Yes, Teen finds it.
Teen, good old Teen, which you have a theory on.
Yes. I can't talk about it yet.
I like theories.
I know you do.
This is... What was it? What was the note? I'm trying to remember what the note said.
Well, one side was an invitation.
Yes. Welcome.
You are invited to first test.
Yeah.
You are cordially invited to your first test.
I'm trying to get the actual note.
Yeah. I can't remember what the saying was on the back.
Let me see if I can find a still frame of this.
Right. There is one, because I remember they showed it.
Yes. And they did. They did show the invitation. Let's see. I just want the note. That's all I want. I don't want any of that. I don't want any of that. I want the invitation. Let's see here. Whoa! Didn't want that. That's a big video that just went full screen on me.
Yikes!
Like, yeah. Oh, that wasn't good. Let's see here. I just want the note and what it said. Are you trying to tell me there are absolutely no still frame pictures? There's plenty of video. This is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Ugh. There's got to be something. Come on. Here it is. The Witches Road cordially invites you to the first trial. And then, what did it say
on the other side?
Yeah, the other side was, yeah, because on the bottom it says, please see reverse side of card.
Right.
Which I thought was a very good touch.
Nikaya says that she thinks the clothes were more 80s-ish.
Okay. Yeah. We'll just say more comfortable. How about that?
Yeah, most definitely.
More comfortable. I just want to know what it said. What did the other side of the card? Let's see. They do that. They do that. Yep. They go to the house. Blah, 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 blah. They do that. But it doesn't say what was on the back of the damn card. Freaking hell. Because it was a bunch of clues. It was like they were talking in rhyme.
Yes.
Talking in rhyme.
Go away.
Let's see. Let's do back of invitation. How about that? Back of the invitation. Nope. Nope. That's not it either.
3 pages? What the hell?
All I want
What
is
the hell, Over? I can't find it either.
He said. Well, anyway, it was basically a bunch of clues that pertained to the bottle of wine that was sitting on the table with all the glasses. And everybody who had to participate in the trial had to drink from that glass. Except for Teen. Because Teen was underage. Yes.
Yes.
You can't have any, you're too young. Mrs. Hart, however, had 2 glasses of wine and chugged it.
Yeah.
That is a professional drinker right there, folks. Professional wine drinker.
And then complained that it wasn't that good.
Yeah. Then everybody else had to drink from it as well. And the clues on the back of the invitation had to pertain to the to what was needed in order to solve the curse. And Nikaya, thank you for sending me the image. I appreciate it. My age has value. I'm no fun alone. I mess with your mind. My tricks are well known. Which clearly had to do with the wine. It was poisoned. Poisoned.
Would you say poisoned or would you say tainted?
Poisoned.
I like tainted better.
But it was poisoned because it could kill them.
More mysterious.
Tainted. I don't think it works well with witches.
It was tainted with poison.
Oh, okay. Or the whole thing was actually poison.
Yeah. You know me, I got to be difficult every now and then.
I do. I'm pretty sure there was another part to that, but basically that was the clue.
Yes.
And Lady Death says, tainted will make you sick, poisoned will kill you.
Not if it's tainted with poison, which will make you sick before it kills you.
Which is some of the side effects to what was going on.
Yes.
Because not only did they all drink it, except for one, well, two, Agatha decided to dump hers out into a plant and put the cup on a counter or a shelf, so to speak. But as that was happening,
as she set it down, I was like,
you're going to get in trouble for that.
Guys, my brain said, I don't think it's going to let you get away with that. Miss Agatha.
No, because right away we see the cup start to fill back up of the wine. Yeah. Now, one of the side effects was their faces got all swollen and contorted. Looked like they got into a fight with Mike Tyson over and over again. I even think they made that joke. Or something along those lines of that joke. It was pretty funny.
But yeah, I don't remember a Tyson reference. Maybe he got hit by a truck.
Maybe
but
something. But it happened. But Agatha was the only one who didn't drink aside from Teen. Lady Death, they had Kardashian faces. That's a good way to put it. Good way to put it.
Kardashian faces in a carnival mirror.
Yes. Well, everybody got all contorted and their faces were all swollen, except for Agatha's and Teen's, because Agatha didn't drink, which prolonged a little bit, because not only did Mrs. Hart have two, but the poison started taking into effect. And then she started hallucinating, which was also one of the symptoms of the poison.
It was interesting what Sharon said.
Which was?
Agatha, at least let him breathe.
Yeah. I don't know what that was all about, though. I don't know if it was pertaining to Teen or if it was pertaining to somebody else.
Well, actually, wait, no. It wasn't Agatha. Wasn't it Wanda? Wasn't it Wanda? Please let him breathe.
Yes, Wanda.
Okay, yeah, Wanda, not Agatha. Wanda, because it made me, when I heard it, it immediately made me think that Wanda killed her husband.
Which is very possible. Very possible.
You know, I mean, there are things we don't know that happened in WandaVision. You know, obviously the backstory and, you know, sub-stories and all that good stuff. But that's what it made me think of. Because even Agatha looked at her like, the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, like, what do you mean? What's going on here? Like, what?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No. That's weird. Very weird.
All of them were like, the hell is she talking about?
Yeah. Because they don't know what happened with Wanda. They weren't even in Westview when that all happened. Except for Mrs. Hart and Agatha. Teen wasn't even there. Technically, Teen was born in Eastview. Which that's a whole nother ball game, by the way, folks. Whole nother ball game.
That we ain't got time to play.
Nope. Nope. No, we do not, because, well, it's just the way it rolls. So, they all decide to figure out the concoction that they need with the household items to cure the poison that is now in their system. and they need to make like a witch's brew.
I like how they figured out what the poison was.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting, wasn't it?
Yeah, and you know, I mean, obviously the potions lady
Yep.
in this whole thing is I can't think of her name, but the black lady.
Yep.
And you know, she starts asking, you know, finding out symptoms, just like a doctor would. You know, finding out what kind of symptoms everybody is experiencing.
Yes.
You know, and then she figures it out. I can't remember what it was called. I can't remember what it was called though.
Schmuck bait, as they put it, because it has this potential poison.
Right.
And let's see. So, here's the riddle. The riddle was on the back. My age has value. I'm no fun alone. I mess with your mind. My tricks are well known.
Mm-hmm.
And as they said, schmuck bait, because it's got fatal poison. They consider the riddle and they're thinking about it and they go, okay, well, what is going to happen here? Because things are going to go wrong. Once Sharon says wine, which, you know, clearly that's what it was.
He was looking at it.
Yeah. They now have to figure out how to make this the potion. Yeah, the potion, the antidote, you know, the
antidote, that's it.
The whole thing to help. Now, Agatha at the same time is like, screw this. She didn't want to drink it. So she takes a chair, throws it at the glass window to try and break it, which she does break. It cracks.
Yeah.
But
I don't know what she was hitting it with, but it wasn't a chair. It looked like a statue or something. It was hard to tell.
No, I think it was a table. It was like an end table or something.
Yeah. She was only using one hand, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
She was trying to break the window.
Yeah.
And it turned into a windshield that a pebble hit going 70 miles an hour.
Yes. Yeah. So once they figure out what they need, they all split up into groups of 2 and some 1. Now, the problem is with Teen around, again, he never drank anything, so he's not going to hallucinate.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else is. And they all have major hallucinations.
Oh,
like major.
But all applicable.
Yes. Yes. Indeed.
All applicable to each individual.
Yep. Now, when it came down to it, the biggest thing with the hallucinations, one was of her mother. Right? The what's her name there? I can't remember these characters' names.
I can't either.
Ugh. Let me try again. Let's see. Not Jennifer Kale. She's the one who is the potions master.
Alice.
Yes, Allion. That's right. She plays Alice Wu Gulliver.
Mm-hmm.
Gulliver.
Yes.
So with her, she hallucinates and sees her mother in. She walked into a sauna, and that's what she saw. She saw her mother, and her mother. Correct me if I'm wrong. Her mother.
Like a dressing room.
No, it was a sauna. Like she walked into the sauna, but
she walked into the sauna, but it changed into a dressing room.
Yeah, it changed into a dressing room or like a prayer room for her people.
Right.
And she was talking about her mother and how I couldn't really understand.
Your grandmother died today.
Yes.
Thousands of miles away, and I still felt it.
Yes.
Now he's coming after me.
Which we kind of know who that is.
And then she tries to drink. I don't know if it's poison or if it's just alcohol. but she tried to drink something out of a.
Yes.
You could kind of call it a flask.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a mini flask almost.
Yeah. Yeah. Like sake or something along those lines. But we knew that was going to be some kind of backstory. Like all the hallucinations are going to be backstories. The other hallucination we saw was what's her name there? Agatha, where Agatha's flashback was pertaining to her child that she gave up.
But that came later. That came later.
It did. But yeah. I'm just trying to go through all the hallucinations because
right, I got you.
There were a lot of hallucinations that we saw.
Yeah, and then Shashir, who is the potions master.
Yes.
She flashed back or had a vision. I'm assuming that it was her professor or something along those lines, somebody that she worked with who tried to kill her, tried to drown her.
Let's see.
And then what was it? Catherine, the older. No, I'm sorry, Patty Lapone, Lilia.
Yes,
Miss Lilia.
So okay,
I didn't really understand hers.
Here is what. Okay, so here's what I found. So Sharon Davis, she was the first one to hallucinate. She she downs first glass of the poison wine, then she downs the second one, which Cal later identifies as Wife's revenge. After enduring the first stage of the poison, which swells her face out to resemble a botched Botox procedure, Sharon grabs the attention of the coven by calling out, "Please, please, Wanda, I'm begging you, let him breathe, please." Sharon then falls faint and collapses on the couch, essentially sitting out the rest of the episode until teen, which we'll get into that after.
Yeah.
But her vision, you didn't see. We didn't see it. Right. It was just her, calling out to Wanda.
Talking.
So
yeah, just her talking.
That made, like you said, it made all the other witches like, "Whoa, what are you doing? What are you doing?" But that was a scene directly from WandaVision where, whatchamacallit, filmed before a live studio audience. That was the one where they were doing a show and there was a dinner party and she was choking Mrs. Hart's husband. Because he begins to choke like he ate something and started choking,
Mm-hmm.
But that's when they're like, "Yo, stop it. Stop, this has got to stop." So, save him, but they were laughing type of thing. So
right.
It directly ties to that. So in a lot of ways, we did see that hallucination just in WandaVision because we saw that whole scene play out.
Right.
Then she passes out. Okay. Lilia, who is the psychic of the group.
Yes.
With her, it was probably the creepiest of the hallucinations.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Because with her, and correct me if I'm wrong on this one, it was a young woman that was kind of like dressed in medieval, like
mid-century attire.
Yeah, like kind of like a nun.
The old she was wearing. She had the old hoop skirt and
that's right.
And she's like,
more like
do
pilgrimish.
You want to see? Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
She had the old.
Yeah, so with her, the apparition in her hallucination keeps asking, "Do you want to see?"
Mm-hmm.
but
and
in
then turns and
Italian.
walks off to the side.
Right, but it was in Italian.
Yes.
And that's when she follows and she sees the room full of vines. And then there's a woman that looks dead, like a corpse. She's sitting at a table. You see, it's one of those looking down at the table, and it's not like a slow rise of the head. It was like one of those quick ones. Yeah, you see one of those quick ones, and the eyes open, and all of that. And it's more of, I don't know, it looked more like death if you think about it.
Yeah, kind of a death apparition came up behind it.
Yeah, like
in a way, it looked like one of the Salem 7 did.
Yes.
When they were in the road, it looked like one of the shape and everything was like one of the Salem 7.
Yes. Want to say hi to Koshiri? She says, I don't understand a lot of what we chat about here on Mondays, but I love you all. We're talking about Agatha All Along, episode 3. So if you haven't watched it, spoilers. We're going to ruin it. We're actually talking about the hallucinations currently that all the characters have had. Mrs. Hart was a hallucination from WandaVision that we saw. And then we just spoke about the psychic, Leela, who... Lilia, sorry. Koshiri, talking about some lady. Neat. Yes, pretty much.
We'll just call her Lil. That'll be easier.
Lil. Or Lily. Or Lily.
Yeah, one of the two, yeah.
Yeah, Lily. But in the end, in Italian, after she runs, she says they're dead, they're all dead. In Italian, though.
Mm-hmm.
So clearly, she's been around for a while. But they do mention the word maestra or maestra. Am I saying that right?
I don't know.
Translate to teacher in English.
Koshiri, I'm going to go watch mutated zoo animals on another stream. Love ya.
Boo. We're better, but I understand. But apparently, she's over 450 years old. She was chased out of her village, and everybody else was dead.
Yeah. She's been chased out of every village that she was in. Yes.
Then we see Alice Wu's hallucination, which is of her mother, like we were mentioning before. And that her grandmother was dead. Her mother says, I can't protect you anymore. And she runs. And that's also when Teen comes in and saves her. So like, come on, we gotta keep moving. Like, wakes her up from her hallucination, so to speak. Her mother drank the poison. And she doesn't want...
Was it poison?
Yeah, it was poison. But it's... I don't know how true this is. This might work out to a meaning. But the lighter that she was looking for, because she needed the lighter. If you want to take that stretch, it could be like tying it to burning at the stake.
I was wondering what the flicking of the lighter was. I didn't understand that,
Yeah, it was weird.
That was weird because she's doing one of the light the lighter and put it out, and then light the lighter and then put it out. It was weird.
Yeah. From there, we see Jennifer Kale's vision.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Could also be reminiscent of lives being extinguished.
Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But then we see Jennifer Kale's vision. Her vision, she's in a doctor's office in scrubs. And basically the doctor is like, You suck. You're an inconvenience. I'm going to kill you. And starts to drown her in the sink in the kitchen,
Right.
saying, "You're nothing." But then when she comes out of the sink, the doctor's gone. She's drenched.
Oh, she was dry. She was perfectly dry when she
yeah. You're right.
Yeah, when she flashed back, and it was crazy though, because if you looked real close, you could see water fly,
Yes.
but she was perfectly dry.
Yes.
That was wild.
That was pretty interesting, to say the least. You know, and she brings up the fact that doctor bound her, basically leaving her and taking her magical talents. You know,
Right.
Want to say hi to Will, who just chimed in on the
Will?
good old chat room. Hello, sir. Hope you're doing well. Hope nothing got destroyed by you in Florida there. And I don't remember which part of Florida you were in. I hope you were on the other side that didn't really get too much damage. So, thinking about you, man. Miss you. But from there we go to Agatha's vision. And Agatha's vision is not just about her son, but also how she traded her son Nicholas for the Darkhold.
Yep, that was after they made the potion, though.
That was during. That was
Well, it was
during.
the potion was made, but it was missing something.
Yes, and Agatha needed to get it.
She actually pulled Jennifer, potion lady,
Yes.
off to the side and says, "I hate you, but I loved you in private. They can take your power,
You can
but
do
they
this.
can't take your knowledge."
Yes, you can do this.
Yeah, because she couldn't remember the potion.
Couldn't remember the steps.
Well, she remembered the steps, but she was missing something. She couldn't figure out what it was.
Yes.
And that's when she pulled her over. It was kind of like a slap in the face and said, "Pull yourself together," kind of thing.
Yes.
But done in a friendly way.
Yes. Very nice.
And they were missing she needed a hair from everybody. And that was when Wanda went into her vision because she heard a baby cry.
Yeah.
As soon as I heard that, I'm like, "Oh boy, here we go."
She heard the baby. She went into the hallucination, but all she needed was Mrs. Hart's hair, because that was the only one they were missing. Was Mrs. Hart.
Mm. The one they were missing was Agatha's.
Yeah, well, they needed Agatha's, but it was Mrs. Hart's.
Yeah. But Mrs. Hart, they didn't have to do Mrs. Hart because Mrs. Hart was the one that was poisoned.
They were all poisoned.
He was the one that was about to die.
Yes.
I don't think they ever went and got.
They never got her hair.
But the potion still worked.
It worked for them.
Good point. No hair from her. It's not gonna.
Yeah. Yep, see.
Good point. Good point. Didn't catch that.
The little things you catch.
Didn't catch that. Good point.
The little things you catch, because they never got hair from her.
Right.
Teen
they almost forgot her
it.
after they drank the potion.
Yeah. Teen didn't need it, but they needed to give the potion to her so they could get out.
Well, Teen was vital.
Yes.
Teen was vital to the potion.
He had to mix it.
He did the mixing. Of course, they had to tell him which way was counterclockwise.
Yep.
Which was funny as hell. But the other part was they needed blood.
Yes.
And she's like, "Well, what kind of blood?"
The blood of the innocent.
Blood of the blood of one who is not poisoned.
Yep. Boom. There you go.
And that's when they went, "Thank God you were underage." You see Agatha grab this knife out of the frickin' butcher block. And Teen's like, "Oh, shit."
Here it comes. Now, I will say at this point in time, there's a lot of water. And I mean a lot of water about to
we
break
kind of
through.
skipped over that. Yeah, we kind of skipped over that part.
We did accidentally skip over that, but once
Rewind.
once they got everything together and we're past the hallucinations, water is about to break through the broken glass that Agatha smashed.
Seawater.
Seawater nonetheless.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's going to kill you. That's going to kill you
Don't
big
drink
time.
Don't
Will
drink it,
says
it'll make you
it was a
thirsty.
Mama Bear reaction. Yeah, not wrong. Not wrong.
Mama Bear who gave away her child reaction.
Yes. She was very, "Ugh." But once they get the potion to, what was it, glow green, right? It had to be green. Blue or tealish, I think they said.
Yeah, Teen was like, and more like a tealish color, like a bluish green.
Good enough.
No, it's got to be blue.
Good enough for me. Good enough for me. Well,
Right.
once that happened, they all started drinking, but that was it. But they forgot about Mrs. Hart on the table. So now they
10
had to
seconds
get
left.
her to drink. Once they got the potion in her mouth, the stove opened up.
Now, the one thing we failed to tell you that I just realized, the very beginning of the episode, when they found the wine bottle and Sharon drank, a 30-minute timer came on.
Oh, yes. So they were running out of time.
They heard a beep, and they turned around, and there's a freaking timer on the counter that started counting down from 30 minutes.
Yes.
When they realized that they forgot Sharon, there was 10 seconds left on the timer.
Yeah. Time's counting down. It's going to be to the last second. The last and final second.
Lily's, when it comes to the stove, they're like, that's not our way out, is it?
Yes.
And Lily's down there. I mean, how poetic.
This was
Witches in an oven. Hansel and Gretel, anybody?
Which they mentioned. Lilia mentioned that. She goes, I knew a witch who got killed by a couple of kids this way.
Right. And, and Lily's sitting there. I'm sorry, Lilia.
Lilia.
Lily is sitting there going, ain't climbing in there.
Yeah, nope, not happening.
Jen's like, screw this, I'm going.
And
she
the
did. Windows break and the water start pouring in.
And she did. And they did get Mrs. Hart out.
Mm-hmm.
They did get her out, which was good because she was still laying still on the table, but she was still moving also. And one by one, they went through the oven. They brought Mrs. Hart out. They did what they needed to do in order to break the curse, break the poison, and get out of there because they all had to leave together.
Yes.
Okay.
Once the I2 initiator just came in the chat room, says, is this the review of the latest? Yes, sir, it is. Agatha All the Way, episode 3.
All along, not all the way.
Did I say it all the way again? At least I got it right in the opener.
It's true. Yes, there are lots of spoilers because we're at the end of the episode.
He says, I better avoid spoilers. Well, it was good to see you, sir. Join us tomorrow night.
Yes, sir. Because I'm about to drop one of the biggest spoilers of the episode. They're going down a water slide.
That was fun. That looked like it was fun.
You two, initiator. We'll see you tomorrow.
Jen was head first because she crawled in head first.
That's true. That's true. They all, the good thing is they all got out. And as they were all getting out, their clothes changed back to what they were originally wearing when they first entered the house.
Yep.
And even Agatha, once she got out, said, well, it's a good thing we all made it out alive.
Mm-hmm.
And Teen goes, well, not all of us. And we see
dead
Mrs. Hart laying on the ground, dead. And that's the end of the episode. Now.
And she looked dead.
Oh, she looked very dead.
I mean, she looked like the Halloween dog that I did today.
She looked blue with white eyes, like everything was. She was dead.
All grayish and
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, from there, and this is where I say she would probably still be alive if they plucked the hair from her head and put it in the potion, but they didn't do that.
Yep.
I can prove it.
Oh no, you're right. You're right. I agree 100% that they never got her hair.
They never got her hair.
Yep.
Which means even though they gave her the antidote, it didn't work for her because
There was no poison, or there was none of her DNA in the mix.
right.
Basically.
Therefore, she died.
Yep.
Now, is she really dead? I don't
That's
know.
a good question.
I don't know. Normally,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I would say no one ever stays dead in comics except for a few people.
Right.
Could it be that maybe it was just the trial that killed her, or, knocked her out of the trial so she didn't pass because maybe she's technically not a witch, but we know she is?
Well, they didn't. The one thing I haven't heard was that everybody had to make it through.
I think they did say that. Because
if that's the case, then they might as well just quit the road now.
Well, they had to make it through the first trial in order to get to the second one. Because if I remember correctly, all the trials that they've got to do, in order to make it through and get your powers back, you have to make it through every single trial.
You have to make it. There's one trial per person.
Right.
There's 5 people in the group, so there's 5 trials. The problem is, this was Jen's trial, and the person that died is, according to Jen, before they went down the ladder to the Witch's Road.
Yep.
The Earth person, or the Earth Witch, or the Green Witch, is the most important.
Yes.
Of the group. And that's Sharon, who is now dead.
But is she?
That's the question. Is she? And it's the same thing I asked myself. I said, well, wait a minute. Do they all have to make it through, or, is it just the lead witch? That's.
Now, I'm just reading up on some of the stuff. They're calling Sharon the sacrificial lion because they didn't give her the antidote in time. No, they gave her the antidote in time.
But she wasn't in it.
Right.
Nakaya says, so now with her dead, what happens to her or her trial? And does each witch die with every trial until only one is standing?
That is a very good question.
And we do not have the answer for it.
That's something that, we don't have the answer for. But also, there's only 9 episodes.
Yep, 9 episodes.
So, and I think the last 2 episodes are coming out on Halloween. They're saving them for Halloween. So, you can't kill off all the witches in every episode with each trial.
Well, and I figure that the last episode is going to be the fight between Agatha and her coven against the Salem 7.
I don't think they're going to... Well, yes.
Confrontation,
There's definitely going to be a confrontation. That's neither here nor there. Will they be going up against the Salem 7? Probably. That might be the last trial. But I don't
Mikaya, you haven't been listening. She says, it just dawned on me that she died because she didn't have her hair in the potion. I thought she died because they just missed the timer. Nope, because her hair wasn't there. Because she got the antidote, but her hair wasn't put into the potion.
Yep.
So the potion didn't do her any good.
Yep.
But Sully brought me around to that because I missed it too.
I didn't.
So,
I saw it.
and Will says the holy day of the witch is night.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. So
It's
when it
going to be
comes,
interesting to see what happens. That's for sure.
agreed.
But the first question that has to be answered in episode 4 is Sharon really dead? And if she is, does that end the walk of the witch's road?
I don't
Because
think so.
she's the green witch. She's the earth element
Yes.
in this group. And that's the biggest, most important part of this group.
Yes.
So, I mean, or do they just drag her along with so that her trial still comes along? Brought up a lot of questions.
It certainly does. And it's a matter of where are they going to go from here? Because you also have to remember there is still a green witch out there.
Will says she's going to be reborn, but they can't leave. They can't leave the witch's road to go get her.
Right.
How are they going to leave the witch's road and then go back?
I would think they would have to bring her with her. They'd have to bring her with them and just hope for the best,
Will says that she's going to be reborn. I have the feeling that's the case because to me, with her passing, that's the end. Because they haven't had her trial. If they would have had her trial and her trial would have been passed and she wasn't really needed anymore, then they'd be okay. They could keep going.
Right.
But they haven't done the Earth trial yet.
No.
So, and the other thing was, the one thing they realized what these trials are going to be each of their worst nightmares.
Yes.
Forgot about that.
That is true. That is very, very true.
Nikaya says, drag her by the leg. Just tie her up and pull her along,
Nice.
No respect for the dead,
Nope.
But
nope.
This is very interesting. I want to throw my theory, since we're at the end of the episode, I want to throw my theory out real quick.
Yes.
My theory is this. First off, I have to say this. I realized something while we were rewatching episodes 1 and 2 today. And that is that what was it called? Syllabus.
Yep.
The syllabus that Teen is under.
Okay.
Teen is under a spell that stops him from revealing his name to witches.
Yes.
Now, the other 4 were accusing Agatha of putting that on him, but we know that's not the case.
Right.
And I realized today that what I thought was stitching that came across his mouth when he tried to say his name is an M. It's the letter M when it goes across his lips. So I was thinking, okay, we had the theory last week that Teen was one of Wanda's sons.
A combination.
Or a combination of, right.
Yep.
We found out this episode that Agatha gave up her son to get the book of, I can't remember what the book was called, but it was a book of something.
Darkhold.
What kind of clicked for me there was, could Teen possibly be her son?
No.
Why?
I don't think it's her son, because if you look at the lore of Marvel, Teen in Marvel Comics is a combination of both of Wanda's 2 boys, the twin boys that she had, not just in WandaVision, but in Multiverse of Madness. It's both of their consciousnesses in one, and Mephisto did that to save them and combine them into one person instead. Which we already know Mephisto has already been name dropped not once, but twice. So it's a possibility that that's what they're going to go with. What?
I still think it's a possibility that it's her son.
I don't think so.
We'll find out.
And the only reason why is mostly because of
Marvel lore. I understand.
Yeah, it's the Marvel lore. So it's...
Understand.
It's one of those things where you're like, all right, well, how do you go from there?
I don't argue your theories, so don't argue mine.
Well, I will absolutely.
Just a theory, just a thought.
I will absolutely argue.
But anyway, I understand. You say it can't be because it's Marvel lore. I say it's a possibility.
Right. Yes, it is absolutely a possibility. 100%. Yes.
Thank you. Now I'm happy.
Is it? That's a different story, because that's where you want to make sure that you know the background to certain Marvel characters.
Yeah, and I'll never know that. So,
and if you, this is actually pretty cool. If you look up, Agatha All Along, and you look up the character that Joe Locke is playing, and actually, you know what? Let me do this, because this will freak you out. So if you look up Teen MCU Wiki. I'm going to send you a link, okay? And you're going to see this. And I'm going to get your reaction. So what I want you to do is click on the link, okay? Don't look at the names. Just click on the link, get to that page. When you get to that page, you'll see Teen up at the top. And then I want you to scroll down where you can see certain words are blurred out.
Mm-hmm.
But if you take your mouse and hover over it, the name reveals itself. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
So that's why I say, is it a W or is it an M?
Well, the way that when you look at it,
yep,
it's an M. Because it starts at the bottom.
Yes. But that spell is to make it sure that no witches can understand his name.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just Agatha, it's all of them.
It's all of them. Yeah. I mean, when it was, at first I thought it was just Agatha, but then when it happened with all of them there.
Yes.
I was like, interesting.
Yes. And Lady Death says they are doing it backwards. Yeah, you're very well could be. Absolutely. That the name is backwards.
Well, okay, so my theory just got blown the hell up. Oh, well. I'm going to quit doing theories because they always get blown up.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to burst your bubble.
No, you're not. Yes, you do.
No.
You do it without hesitation. So you do it on purpose.
Don't think of it as me doing it without hesitation. I'm trying to help you understand.
No, you just kind of blow up my theories.
No, I don't. I like your theory. It's a good theory.
Sully, relax, man. I got it. I'm good.
It's a very good theory, and I even said it was going to be a good theory. However,
I'm good.
However,
you're wrong. So shut up.
I don't want to say you're wrong, but
yes, you do. You're just trying to say it nicely.
It's no, because you've come so far with not just your theories in the MCU, but you really have come a long way from when you and I first met. You did not do this geek thing at all.
Yeah.
And I mean at all. You liked Star Wars, but you weren't as invested in Star Wars as I was, And then when it came to the Marvel, you're like, do I really want to do this? Because I remember when we first brought this up with Adam.
Mm-hmm.
And you were like, I don't know.
I wasn't on board
Right.
at all.
But now you're like, no, this is actually really cool. I like taking it from this point of view, which is why I never want to knock your theories down. I just want
you just like blowing them up.
I want to steer you in a better direction.
You can't steer me.
I know, but I can try.
You've been trying for 10 years, dude.
It will work eventually, and I'm getting there.
I will never let you succeed.
Even Lady Death says, he sure has come a long damn way, especially since he was part of my family. I mean, not wrong.
Well, I came a long way just by divorcing your sister, but that's another conversation.
For another day. And even Will says, balls to the walls.
No, that hurts.
Ouch. Ouch. We don't want that. Ouch. So anyway, with that being said, what do you give this week's episode?
I'm playing middle of the road right now.
Okay.
I'm not really sure which way I want to go with this.
All right.
I'm enjoying the storyline,
Okay.
which those words coming out of my mouth for this kind of storyline
Yes.
is huge. Actually, it's not huge. It's huge, freaking mungus.
Okay.
I'm intrigued, especially
All right.
with Sharon being dead at this point.
Okay.
I'm intrigued. So I'm going to go with a 3. Dead center. I'm going to play center of the road for right now, and we'll see which way it goes. Nakaya says I give 3 1/4 witch hats.
All right. All right.
Will, what about you? How many witch hats out of 5 do you give? Well,
Yeah,
okay.
That's
So what is your rating this week, sir?
so my rating, and you're going to be shocked about this, is actually 3 3/4. 2 reasons. 2 reasons.
Okay. I wouldn't say I'm shocked by that, but
One, the episode, and I'm not going to bash the episode completely.
Mhm.
What they did with being poisoned to getting the antidote together and all of that was great. It kept the episode going. You didn't feel like you were, just waiting for something to happen. It was boom, 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 boom. The hallucinations were amazing. The transitions between the two, fantastic. Okay.
Well, and you found out a bit about each one of them.
Yes.
About their fears, because
Yes.
every single one of those visions or their hallucinations had to do with their fears.
Yes, absolutely. Now, with that being said, I called it. Because
Go ahead and brag.
the minute I saw Mrs. Hart on the table, I knew she was going to die.
Yeah, but you didn't call that in the
No, not last week.
Before.
I didn't, because we didn't know what the next episode was going to be.
So you called it while watching it.
While watching
not
it, I'm
called
like,
in the show.
yeah,
Gotcha.
I was watching it, and I'm like, she's going to die. And as I'm watching it, and they're gathering everything, and everybody's putting their hair in, I'm like, what about Mrs. Hart?
Yeah, I didn't, and I never even thought about that. So I did like they did.
A lot of people miss the small details. Unfortunately,
there's
for
a
me,
whole lot of shit going on in
Yes.
that little time period there.
yes,
you
there was a lot going on when it comes down to it.
Yeah.
But I always catch those small, tiny details. Like when Agatha first broke the window, I knew something was either going to break through.
Yeah, because they were still in the desert at that time.
Yeah. They didn't see the water until almost the end of the episode when they started seeing
Right.
water shoot out from it being broken. But I knew as soon as she broke that window, something's either going to burst through and attack them or something else.
Yeah.
Will says I'm a warlock. No, I just,
Micaiah says, when I saw Sharon faint, I had a feeling.
but I notice the small things. You know, I do. I
Come to
notice
think of it.
I notice the things that people don't normally look for.
Right.
You know.
Come to think of it, if you think back to when Sharon passed out,
Yes.
when people pass out, they just fall down.
Yes.
Sharon, when she passed out or fainted or whatever you want to call it, was stiff
As a board.
and she turned and fell.
Yep.
So it was like she was in instant rigor mortis.
Yeah. He's still saying I'm a warlock. No,
Warlock.
I notice the small details. So many people, like even JT will tell you, we'll watch a movie separately. And we'll both talk about that movie to each other. And I'll say, well, did you notice this? He'll go, hold on, let me rewind. And he'll go back, oh, you son of a bitch. Like, he's done that. I notice the small things. I can notice bad edits. I can notice, like...
That's your director.
Yeah.
That's the director in you, because you as a director, you have to nitpick. And
Yeah.
even though you don't mean to do it, you catch. That's why you catch those little things.
It just happens no matter what.
Mhm. Yeah, it's you could basically say it's in your DNA.
It really is. I went to school for this shit, you know?
Or as Bart says, your dinner.
But that's my superpower, okay? I can spot that stuff. But at the same time, I understand why they did it, because they needed to do it in order to move the story along.
Yeah.
You know?
Like I said, it's to me, at this point,
Yeah.
their trip down the witch's road is over.
But is it?
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Is to me it is, but I mean, obviously we have several episodes to go, so it can't be.
Because
But I mean, are they going to drag it along until they get to the Earth potion or the Earth challenge, and then go, uh-oh?
that's
You
even
know,
if
I
there's an
just-
Earth challenge, because you have to remember the road at the end of the road, it gives you what you most desire.
Mm-hmm. But you have to defeat the 5 challenges, and you can't defeat the 5 challenges if one of the people that is still has yet to be challenged is dead.
True.
So the
But
only way they can keep doing this is if they bring her back to life.
does that mean there's no Earth challenge?
No. there's
Because
5
if you
challenges.
think about it, the only person who wanted to go through the Witch's Road was Agatha. That's it. She just
And
wanted
Teen.
to do it.
And Teen.
And Teen, because he wanted to learn how to be a witch.
Right.
Everybody else is in because the Salem 7 were going to go after them.
Well, they were in because Jennifer wants to be unbinded.
Yep.
Lilia wants to get her powers of
Unbinded.
clairvoyance back.
Yeah, she wants to be unbinded.
The only one that we don't know, and even Jen is questioning, or was questioning
Yep.
up to this point, was whether Sharon was really a witch.
Yeah.
I can't see Agatha bringing her along, and I can't see Lilia putting her on the list in her house when
Yeah.
she was taken over by witch magic and she wrote the list.
But
I can't see her putting her on the list if she's not a witch.
don't
But is
forget,
she under a spell like Agatha was?
it's possible. But don't forget, there was also Rio. Rio is an Earth witch. She's a green witch who wants to kill Agatha, but can't. She can go on the Witch's Road anytime she wants.
But how are they going to get to her?
I don't know. We got how many episodes left?
But my assumption is once you're on the Witch's Road, you cannot leave the Witch's Road until you get to the end of the Witch's Road.
That's
Because
my assumption
everybody
as
has
well.
said the Witch's Road is a death wish.
That's my assumption as well.
You know, so how are they going to get to the Green Witch? And I think She hates Agatha enough that she would not help her because she would not want her to get her powers back.
Very true. Because
wants her
Agatha
dead.
will kill her.
She wants her freaking dead as a doornail.
Yes.
So I don't see her helping them.
Yes.
I also don't see any way for them to come off the road and get her.
Agreed.
So,
but only time will tell. So yes,
yeah.
I'm giving it.
The only thing I can see is that they've got to revive her somehow.
Yeah. So I'm giving it 3 3/4. Final answer.
We'll give it 3.
Nice. 3 hats.
Right.
Awesome. Still says
Right,
more.
right down the middle like me.
I like it. There's no wrong answers, folks. No wrong answers.
No, because
I think
this is of your own opinion.
If I didn't spot that one thing about Mrs. Hart, it probably would have been a 4. But again, I have to nitpick. I have to.
You don't have to. You like to.
Well, I do like to, but it's just one of those, like, I have to point that stuff out because it's the stuff that nobody really looks for, you know? So I have to. So.
All right, let's get out of here.
With that being said, that is the end of Avenger Pretenders for this week. Next week, we'll be talking about episode 4. Because, yeah, why not? Comes out this Wednesday at 9 p.m., right? Is when they release them now. 9 p.m. on Disney Plus. Disney Plus and Marvel do not sponsor this show, but it'd be really cool if they did. I'm not going to lie. Just putting it out there. And, yeah, don't forget to tune into The Sully Show tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern. Will, you might want to check it out tomorrow. We're going to be freaking awesome, as always. Just, putting it out there. So, for the redneck.
Celebrity deaths to talk about.
Oh, yeah, lots of celebrity deaths. For the redneck, there he is. You can't miss him. Such a good guy. Such a good guy. Look at that face. He's got the periodic table of Marvel, and I don't have my Marvel shirt on today. Different story, but that's for tomorrow. And of course, I am the geek, Sully. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in to Avenger Pretenders. We will see you tomorrow for the Sully Show at 8 p.m. Eastern, and next week for another episode of Avenger Pretenders. Have a good night, and Thanos was right.